She thought destroying my lawn was just harmless fun. Until she learned what happens when you mess with an electrician who understands exactly how deep concrete foundations go. I'm Mark, 52 years old, a union electrician who spent 3 decades wiring power systems for malls, hospitals, and industrial plants. All those years of 12-hour shifts, Christmas overtime, and missed birthdays finally paid off when I bought my corner lot dream home in Millbrook Heights. My wife, Sarah, was battling early-stage Parkinson's. The doctors said low stress, steady routine, and fresh air would help. So that lawn wasn't just grass, it was therapy. I dropped $3,000 on premium Kentucky bluegrass, underground irrigation, and electronic timers I wired myself. Every morning smelled like damp earth and coffee, the hiss of sprinklers whispering peace, until she arrived. First time I heard it, a deep growl of an engine, then the crunch of rubber tearing into soft soil. I thought maybe a delivery driver had made a wrong turn, but the next morning, same noise, and the next. Every single day at 7:47 a.m., a white BMW SUV roared across my corner like it was a racetrack shortcut. Not on the road, through my property, through my $2,000 worth of grass. I checked my security camera, and there she was, the neighborhood's self-appointed royalty. Mrs. Kara Whitman, late 40s, designer sunglasses, bleach blonde highlights, and the confidence of someone who thought consequences were for other people. Her husband, Darren, owned a construction company that built half of Millbrook Heights. She loved reminding everyone of that. Her license plate literally said Kara W. Subtlety. Not her thing. Day 3, I walked over to talk like a civilized adult. "Excuse me, Mom," I said. "You've been cutting across my property. It's damaging the grass." Without even looking up, she said, "It's a free country. Maybe don't plant so close to the road if you can't handle a little traffic." When I pointed to the survey stakes marking my boundary, she smiled. That slow, dangerous smile. "Are you threatening me? My husband built this whole neighborhood. I'm on the HOA board. You should be careful who you make accusations against." Her words hung in the air like ozone before a lightning strike. That was the moment I knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a power game. See, 30 years in the electrical trade teaches you one thing. Permanent solutions require precision. So I didn't yell. I planned. That weekend, I hit Tony's Hardware, grabbed motion sensors, low-voltage LED floods, and enough weatherproof wire to light a runway. By Sunday evening, I'd installed what I called my courtesy lighting system. 8 motion-activated floods, each 6 feet apart along the property line, code-compliant, battery-backed, designed to last 20 years. Monday morning, 7:47 a.m., Kara's BMW hit the first motion sensor. Boom! 8,000 lumens of daylight erupted. Her windshield lit up like a supernova. The shriek of her brakes was better than caffeine. She froze, engine idling, then gunned it through anyway. Day 2, same time, same result. Day 3, she laid on the horn like she was announcing the apocalypse. Curtains twitched. Neighbors peeked. The street knew something was brewing. Thursday night, my cameras pinged an alert. There she was, Kara, in black yoga gear, creeping across my yard with a flashlight, kicking over every landscape light. She didn't notice the red blinking light of my infrared camera recording every kick, every insult, every stomp. The next morning, I found a letter in my mailbox. HOA violation. Excessive lighting. Disturbing neighborhood tranquility. Signed, of course, by Kara Whitman, HOA treasurer. I laughed out loud. Then I filed an insurance claim for vandalism, complete with video proof. Tony at the hardware store called later that day. "Mark, you genius. You're not the only one she's messed with. Half the block's been complaining about her for years." He introduced me to Mrs. Patterson, a retired teacher who'd been documenting Kara's antics in a little spiral notebook. She'd reported everything from illegal bird feeders to offensive wind chimes. Apparently, Kara once tried to get a mailman fired for walking across her lawn. That's when I realized this wasn't just personal. It was patterned insanity. When my insurance investigator came to assess the damage, he started measuring the corner of my yard. He frowned, adjusted his laser level and said, "Mr. Thompson, these property markers look off. Might want a professional survey." My pulse jumped. If my markers were wrong, what else had been adjusted? I called Pete, an old union buddy who'd switched to land surveying. A few days later, his crew arrived with tripods and GPS scanners, clicking and humming like robots from a sci-fi movie. Pete whistled when he checked the data. Mark, you own 18 feet more than your current markers show. And that fancy retaining wall she built, 4 feet onto your land, 18 feet. For 3 months, Kara hadn't just been rude. She'd been trespassing across land she illegally stole. That evening, Kara marched over, heels snapping like gunshots. What is all this? You can't just move property lines because you're having a meltdown. I handed her Pete's official survey, stamped, signed, sealed. According to this, you've been trespassing on my property for months. And your retaining wall? It's on my land. Her face went from pink to purple to ghost white. That's impossible. My husband built this neighborhood. He knows the lines, I smiled. Then he knows exactly how the 2019 official survey looked before he filed a corrected version in 2020 with his signature. That silence that followed? It felt like standing under power lines right before a thunderstorm hits, full of energy and danger. Then she leaned closer, hissed through her teeth. You think you can make trouble for us? We own this place. People who go against us, life gets very, very hard for them. I could smell her expensive perfume. Sharp, artificial, mixed with the metallic taste of my own fury. She stormed off, heels clacking like gunfire. I called my insurance legal department. They confirmed what I suspected. This wasn't just bad manners. It looked like property fraud. Then I called a concrete contractor I knew from commercial jobs. Need a few decorative bollards installed, I said. Reinforced. Deep footings, he chuckled. How deep you want 'em? As deep as karma goes, I said. Friday morning, while sipping coffee, a city code enforcement truck rolled up. Out steps an officer with a clipboard. Anonymous complaint about unpermitted electrical installations creating safety hazards. Anonymous, huh? The perfume of corruption smelled familiar, I explained. Low voltage landscape lighting doesn't require a permit. It's basic homeowner security. But he started writing me a $1,200 fine anyway. That's when I asked casually, Hey, where do you golf? He froze. Millbrook Country Club. The same place Darren Whitman did his weekend deals. Busted. I called Big Jim, my old foreman, a man who knew every building inspector in 3 counties. Dave Morrison, he grumbled. He's been in Whitman's pocket since that golf course fundraiser. Don't sweat it, kid. File a formal appeal. You'll win. By Monday, the concrete crew arrived. 3 reinforced bollards, each sunk 30 inches into the ground. Perfectly legal, perfectly aligned with my true property line, painted matte grey to blend with the sidewalk. They looked like simple safety barriers, but to me, they were justice cast in concrete. 2 days later, at 7:47 a.m., Kara's BMW came screaming around the corner. She didn't even hesitate. Bam! The impact sounded like a thunderclap. Airbag explosion, shattered grille, steam rising in the cool morning air. Her $80,000 SUV had become an abstract sculpture of arrogance meeting physics. I called 911, calmly, politely. When the police arrived, I handed them the survey, the camera footage, the HOA complaint, and the insurance claim. They looked at me like a man who'd already written the final chapter before the story began. Turns out the damage report didn't just wreck her BMW. It cracked open something far bigger. Investigators found the altered survey records in her husband's files. Multiple homeowners came forward with suspicious boundary corrections. Darren's construction license was suspended pending investigation. The Whitman's HOA influence vanished overnight. And Kara? She moved out within a month, supposedly to start over. My grass eventually grew back, greener than ever. Sarah and I still sip coffee there every morning, surrounded by soft light and quiet peace. Sometimes I catch a faint smell of fresh concrete and smile. Because the thing about working with electricity is, you learn to respect invisible forces. They might not show up right away, but sooner or later they find their ground. So what would you have done? If someone kept destroying your property, would you fight back or let karma handle it? Drop an emoji in the comments and tell me where you're watching from.